Today, I am talking to one of my favorite people, Joan Plisko. I'm going to let her introduce herself in a moment, but I just want to start out by saying that one of the reasons I love Joan is that she has been many things to me. She has been a mentor and a friend. She's been a client and a partner on joint client projects. And so I've gotten a lot of opportunity to learn from her, hang out with her, work out with her, eat with her, and she's always got really great, inspiring stories. And so I'm thrilled that she's willing to share those with my audience. So with that, I'm going to ask Joan to introduce who she is and start telling us a story of how she has overcome objections to sustainability.
Thank you, Aurora. Joan Plisko. I am the president and founder of Plisko Sustainable Solutions. It's a woman-owned small business that helps clients develop, implement, and assess environmental health and sustainability-related programs and projects. I celebrated 5 years in business in the beginning of 2020, and I'm excited to be here today to share some information to help you on your journey and your journey with the organizations that you're part of. One of my first clients was a hospital, and hospitals are usually places people go when they're sick. Now, this particular hospital has had a green team for about 10 or 15 years, and they've worked on projects such as waste reduction, energy conservation, reducing toxic chemicals in some of the products that they purchase. They were looking for something new. So I approached this facility with the idea of developing a green infrastructure master plan, which is a way to look at the campus and reduce stormwater runoff. This particular facility is very close to a river. Reduce stormwater runoff, and also at the same time increase biodiversity, the natural habitat, and people's opportunity to connect with nature. While the green team and the executive was a little bit interested, they were hesitant at first because this isn't something that is really part of a healthcare facility's typical portfolio of services, to do stormwater management. So it was a great opportunity for me and some of the partners that I had at the time to start educating the decision makers at the hospital, as well as the green team members, on what is stormwater, why is it important, why is it good for patients, why is it good for the environment, why does it matter for resiliency, how is it related to climate change. So to begin an educational process, because what they knew at the onset was that one of the parking lots flooded and it was a hassle.
How much do you feel like your work was providing data and information, and how much of it was massaging and leveraging the relationships you already had there?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I would say it's a combination of both. Most of my clients I have known for an extended period of time. In fact, I was recently approached by another healthcare facility, somebody I've known for a decade, that now might potentially turn to a client. So sustainability is a journey on many levels, relationship being part of that. Now, when you think about what a green team works on at a hospital, not having the knowledge and information about stormwater, it was a great opportunity for me to discuss particularly the relation to health, because these are healthcare providers. And as healthcare providers, looking at how time in nature, specifically when we create these beautiful spaces outdoors, can reduce obesity, improve cardiovascular systems. Children in nature, their eyes develop better, their senses develop better than children that are inside just clicking and doing a whole lot of screen watching. So there was an opportunity for education on many levels. We were fortunate that we together applied for grant money. So we got grant funding for planning, for design, as well as for implementation. Although I have to say the staff and the executive team spent a lot of in-kind time managing and facilitating this project. At the same time, when in this particular city, when you convert impervious surface to pervious surface, there's a financial benefit in terms of the amount that you pay. So there was an ROI in that respect.
Do you find that as a sustainability professional, part of the value that we can bring is just taking the time to do the research?
I like to think that every client is a snowflake. Every client is unique, and what they need as motivation to make decisions is different. Some people need the financial numbers. They need the cost savings. Some people want to know that they're doing a community benefit. Some people want to know that they're making people healthier. Some people want to know that they're cleaning up a stream or the land. And so figuring out what piece of information your particular client or organization needs is really the direction that I would suggest folks going in.
That's really encouraging, because I want people to understand that sometimes the work that you anticipate is going to be really sexy and cool is really just research and understanding your audience and delivering to them what is going to be most convincing. So Joan, tell me, what role does having like a visual representation of this data play?
Yeah, that's a great question. One of the points of interest of this project were the health and wellness benefits of green infrastructure, of stormwater management. And so first, going back to your previous question, I did a lot of research on the different categories of health and wellness and then provided that information to the hospital. I also created a poster that had the health and wellness benefits of green infrastructure that we created and was posted in the hospital lobby. It was also used as talking points for different tours that came through the hospital to learn about and to understand what the hospital had done. So visuals are really important, both using graphics, using real information, and small nuggets of information that people will remember when they go away.
Excellent. I love it. That is a great case study of using information and data and really persevering with a team. And you and I were talking about another example that really exemplifies persevering and having a long-term mentality. And I love that this particular story is related to eco certifications. So I would love to hear about your experience trying to get an organization to embrace a standard and really, follow it all the way through.
So standards or certifications can be scary to organizations, and they might not understand why it's even important to get a certification in the first place. And my feeling is when an organization gets a certification, especially an eco certification, it means that that organization has met the criteria set by a third party. For one of my clients, which is a conference and retreat center, I introduced the concept of a health and wellness certification called FitWell. This particular client had a green wellness team already, but had never heard of FitWell. And it was, I would say, a 2-year process from the time I introduced the concept to when we actually got certified. 2 years might sound like a long time, but what I spent those 2 years doing was creating a vision, creating goals, educating the executive team, educating the board, educating staff, providing examples, and getting partners across the organization to work with me as we together pursue this certification. You can't pursue a certification alone. It's a lot of work. You need executive buy-in, you need board buy-in, you need employee buy-in. So that was part of the process that took so long.
So when you're trying to sell the reasons that you should have an eco certification and you're thinking about the vision of what would our center look like 2 years from now, 5 years from now, what would be the benefits to those who come in and interact with the center? What are some of the elements of the vision? How did you get certain people to buy into that long-term vision?
This organization has as part of its mission for guests that come to this particular center to create earth-based connection. my definition of sustainability and the way I practice sustainability is about the environment, it's about money, but every project that I work on, I connect to human health and make sure that when we are implementing a project, that health piece is part of that. And so that was part of what I was doing, was weaving in human health and wellness. For Fitwell, occupants are guests as well as staff, weaving that into and with the existing mission and vision of the organization. So I wasn't creating a standalone vision, but really taking another idea or concept and bringing it to an existing mission and vision.
So you talk about human health, which is, I love that you're talking about this, because right now we are in a period of time where human health is more on our minds and more in our consciousness than it has been, for at least for the average person, right? And so I'm wondering if you have any thoughts you'd like to share on how you continue pushing forward a long-term vision of human health during a crisis and a pandemic like what we're experiencing right now.
The United Nations has 17 Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, and these outline strategies and goals that organizations and people and countries and businesses can take to be more sustainable. SDG number 3 is human health and wellness. And as part of that is to slow or stop the spread of communicable diseases. So I would say that human health and wellness is an integral part of sustainability. And we can't have all of this other stuff that we talk about regarding sustainability unless we have healthy people on a healthy planet, unless we have healthy life on land, healthy life underwater, and that we value human health and wellness as much as we value the health of the other beings that coexist with us on this planet. And with the cleaning supplies in particular, you're talking about indoor air quality and the impact of spraying a lot of chemicals in a confined space, and how important it is to read labels and to use a product according to what's on the label in order to clean most effectively and to maintain health most effectively. The root causes of climate change and coronavirus are similar in that we are cutting down forests around the world, forcing animals out of their natural habitat. The planet is warming. Animals are now traveling to the North Pole and the South Poles in journeys that they hadn't before, and human beings are coming into contact with animals that they previously had not. And 75% of the transmission of all new diseases is from animals to humans. So this is something that we really have to look at and appreciate.
Thank you so much for your time and your insights. Anything else that you would like to add?
I am very fortunate, Aurora, to have you as a friend and a partner as we together travel the world of sustainability. So thank you. I appreciate you and all the work that you're doing.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.